I think we live, y'all. Put a 2 in the chat if y'all can hear me. And it's showing that our connection is bad, so hopefully it's not. Okay. Let me see. Thank you, Kendra. Says congrats to Nika and Eric. Thank you, Rod. Thank you, JR. Thank you, Esther. Who else I see? Thank you, Kid. Complete Indifference says, wow, y'all got married a day before my 28th birthday, and y'all have been together since I was 23. LOL. Man, our generation is getting up there. Congratulations, soul people. Wish y'all the best. And happy early birthday to you. Okay. We got the young men in the building. Thank you, Eric, Raven, all y'all. See y'all. Kendrell, Abdul. Can y'all hear me? Put a 2. Y'all didn't put no 2s. Thank you, Thunder. Dr. Steele, Explorer. I see y'all. Okay, I see the 2s. All right, y'all. So we are joined today by my beautiful, lovely, amazing husband, Eric Bell. Today is our 8th wedding anniversary, but we've been together for 13 years. You know what I'm saying? How I feel, man? You feel happy with me?
Straight.
Now, y'all know Eric ain't gonna ever say he happy. He just gonna say he's straight, he cool. It's cool. You know, you don't deal with happy, do you? You deal with being at peace. Okay, peace to the guys. Speaking of peace, peace to the guys on the earth. I like your chain, man. That's cute. Oh, yeah. Can y'all see that? It got the 7 on there and the star. You want to explain your chain?
We saved.
That's his culture. Peace to the gods and the earth. We love it. That's a nice chain. I do like it. But yeah, we decided to stop through with you all before we go ahead and get our weekend started. You know, actually, my husband said so. And I was just so touched. He said, "How about we just go live for the one time? You know, for the Crown Head crew." And I said, "What? You want to go live with the Crown Heads?" And he was like, "Yeah, why not?" So we here right now. Also, you all be aware, which I did post a link over on Patreon. Me and my husband will be having our meetup. Is it June? June, right?
Yeah.
June of 2026. I saw some people thinking that we were talking about this month in June. No. So this is a whole year in advance. Okay. Some people was like, oh, wait a minute, Danica. June, I think it's the 27th. June 27th, that's actually on this day, this, that, and the third. I'm like, no, it's for next year. Okay. So we are putting together a meetup for next year, all inclusive. We're going to have drinks, food, music, giveaways, live Q&A. Somebody also inboxed me over on Patreon and said that we should have an open mic, my love. Would you do that? They say because you and your husband do poetry, why not have an open mic, my love? I think you should go ahead and drop some bars for us. You know what I'm saying? We might get Eric on the stage to drop some bars for us. What else? The next day, okay, because our event is supposed to be on a Saturday. So the next day we want to possibly put together something to where we are outside and we do some kind of like workout boot camp type of deal. What you think about that, my love?
It's cool with me. It might not be cool with everybody else.
If you want to. I know a lot of y'all might not want to stay for something like that, but I feel like that would be fun for us, especially since we are involved in like fitness and health. Okay, so on that Saturday, we turn. Okay, we got the food, drinks, music, interactions, giveaways, merch. We got all that going on. And then the following day, which is that following Sunday, y'all meet us outside and have your cleats on. All right. Let's get it. So I think that'll be very fun. So for those of you all who missed our last Patreon that was on Wednesday and you were not aware of our ticket link, It is over on Patreon and it is available for the public, but it's only on Patreon. After 2 weeks, I'll go ahead and start posting it on other platforms. But I do want to give my Patreon crew the opportunity to go ahead and get first dibs. All right. All right. So, any questions for us, you all? Since we are, the happy, I'm sorry, the at peace married couple, maybe y'all have some questions for us. Maybe you got some questions for my husband. Maybe it's a business question. Maybe it's a personal question. Maybe it's a relationship question. Y'all let us know. All right. But in the meantime, in between time, if I don't see y'all have any questions, and if you do have a question, can y'all put a big Q in front of it? That way we know it's an actual question. Or feel free to send in $1 super chat, okay? And then we can read it highlighted right there. Okay, like Dr. Steele. Okay, Dr. Steele says, I love to watch husband and wife teams do streams together. Thank you so much. All right. And me too. It's refreshing, especially because we live in a day and age to where it's such a divide between men and women, especially Black men and women, Black couples. And so I really do want us to get back to having those balanced relationship dynamics, because that is lacking and missing. Okay. But yeah. How do you feel about that, my love? Matter of fact, like, how do you feel about the divide that is going on between Black men and Black women?
I mean, I think it's fairly corny, especially the people that add on to it. I'm sick of kind of seeing it. And I know that it was manufactured, so I just like to see anything that promotes unification or unity. I'm all for it. I'm tapped into it.
Thank you, STL Trucker. STL in the building, period. It says happy anniversary. Smile, Mr. Bell. Let me see you smile one time.
Nah, we ain't doing that one. Yeah, we cool. We keep it consistent.
Man, Eric get on my nerves, STL Trucker. He don't smile for nothing. Now, I can't get him to smile sometimes. All right, when we alone by ourselves, he get the little cheese going on, get a little giggle. A little giggle, a little giggle right now.
Man, I don't do that on no spot, man.
But yeah, y'all know how we do. Okay, the husband just be he chilled too much. He chilled too much. But I do appreciate your donation. Now, my love, you said that you think it's corny, and you don't like the people who add on to that divide and that wedge. Well, there are women out there who feel like I do that. Do you agree that my platform adds on to that divide?
Most of the time, they don't be fully tapped in what you're saying. So they just pick and choose the things that they want to respond to in regard to what you're saying. So a lot of times they're not fully aware of the full scope of what you're talking about. And they just get emotional off of one or two things they may have seen instead of studying the entire discography, if you will, of what you said. So I don't really feel like you contribute to that. Because at the end of the day, part of unifying is pointing out the flaws on both sides. And I feel like you do that.
Right.
So
I'm trying to see our connection. Like we kind of choppy, but I hope at least y'all can hear us. That's what I hate about this room back here. Like the connection is just not good. But yeah, facts. I feel like if more women would actually tap into what I'm saying, they would see that I am not this, woman hater congregator. That was a bar. That was a bar. But they would see that. I feel like a lot of women off face value would say, oh, well, since her title says this, and since she's always calling out what women do wrong, this, that, and the third, that they don't really sit down and take the time out to see what's really being laid out. And if they did do that, they would know that, oh, okay, actually she is trying to wedge those gaps and bring us together. She's just doing it in maybe a way I don't like, or she's doing it in a way that I feel is, I don't know, disrespectful. I don't know. Do you feel like I'm disrespectful in my approach? I mean, I can be a little petty, but nevertheless, I do feel like I'm not adding to something to where it's like, yeah, F women, don't be together, don't stay together, don't work it out. Like, I don't feel like I do that at all.
I mean, people gonna get emotional, kind of no matter what you say. So, I mean, the disrespect part, I'm not gonna say you're disrespectful, but I can see people feeling disrespected. But for the most part, I mean, that's just people getting emotional or overly emotional because, like I say, pick and choose.
Okay. Yeah. I'm trying to get our connection right. It ain't gonna work, Mom. Like, it's got us like glitching, freezing. Can y'all at least still hear us though? Put a 3 in the chat if y'all can at least still hear us. I know our connection is kind of off, but I hope y'all can at least still hear us. I don't know why it does that. Like the visual will be choppy, but then the audio is fine. So I don't know. Okay, I see the 3s. At least y'all can hear us. I don't know why it's doing it. We can hear you and see you. But it looks like it's choppy though, Morgan. Thank you, Dread Mike. Okay. What else? What else? What else? What else? Let me see. What's some stuff I can ask my husband real quick? Okay, my love. So we've been together for 13 years, married for 8. So what advice would you give to younger men about building a strong and lasting relationship?
I mean, it's the simple thing is be patient, patient with yourself, and patient with the person that you're trying to establish the relationship with. So patience is big. Like, don't rush anything. Just be patient. Like, that's probably the biggest piece of advice. Patience. People need to understand and master patience. More importantly, just with yourself, but definitely with the other person. But patience is probably the biggest piece of advice I would give somebody. I see a lot of people just trying to rush into relationships due to time or whatever the case may be. It's just like, simmer down, man. What's for you will come to you. So just be patient and just work on yourself during that process. We always trying to just rush like love and things like that. Like, stop doing that. That leads to a lot of toxic situations, toxic relationships. Stop rushing it.
Thank you, Montel. It says your platform is more of calling out the division than fueling the division. The problem is people tap in with unhealthy attitudes, big bars, and big facts. And thank you so much, Montel. Okay. Well, to piggyback off what you said, my love, because you said, you know, you have to have patience and stuff like that. You see a lot of people rushing and, you know, doing this and a third. Well, I've received some backlash and pushback from women because I would give the advice of give it time to kind of like have some kind of solid foundation with the relationship. And by you doing that, you may have to take a few years or so to get to know this person and for them to get to know you. And women would say stuff to the effect of, well, that is actually doing us a disservice because it is teaching men to string us along and milk the cow without buying the cow and all this other shit. So what would be your, let's say, advice to those women out there who feel like that is not sound advice to tell women to have patience and pretty much have a man make you wait? Because I would say, you know, give it at least 2 years, you know, for y'all to live together, whatever the case may be. Don't rush it. Just really take your time with it. And they say that that is something that is not bad, not good advice. It's actually bad. It's setting women back. And that is how we get strung along and become baby mamas, because a man ain't gonna never marry you if he feel like, you know, he already got you. So they don't have time to be patient. I'm too old for that. I got too much going on. You either gonna get on the pot and shit or get off. What do you say to that?
Well, my first question would be to those that say that, how successful are their relationships? the ones that are saying that? How successful are they in regards to their relationship life? I would have a question for them. Before I give any advice, I would have a legitimate question. That's the question. How is that working for them is what I would ask. Like, that's what I want to know. Because the people that I know that are in successful marriages and been married forever go by the patient's advice. Matter of fact, that's where I got it from. Like the people like my uncles, my parents, things like that. Like I'm getting this advice from the people who have been married 40, 50, 60 years.
Yeah, your family has been married. Like you have a family full of married people who have been married for decades. So I mean, that would be who you take advice from.
And even outside of my family, like I've chop it up with a lot of married individuals. Like when I worked at the banks, people that I train, all the people who have been married for a very long time have told me the same thing. So I'm just not speaking from like my personal opinion. Like I'm speaking from the advice that was given to me by the OGs, and they all have said the same thing. So the people that's saying that's bad advice, you telling me they know more than them? Like the people that's actually out here being married successfully 50, 60, 70 years. I didn't just make up this advice. So I would ask them, how is that working out for them? And most of the time, the people that I see that say that, they are very unhappy. Very unhappy.
Thank you, Keith.
Or let me say they are not at peace. Using my language, they are not at peace. They are very imbalanced and very toxic, may I add.
Well, I've heard people say that, hey, I got married within a year, within 6 months, and we're happily ever after now. So again, still standing 10 toes strong and down on my stance of we don't have time to be waiting around. A man knows instantly what woman he wants to spend the rest of his life with.
That's some BS. Like, and then to even be saying that is stupid coming from a woman, and they don't be knowing what they want to eat half the time. But now wait a minute. We suppose that all of a sudden know that we want to be with somebody for the rest of our lives the moment we come across them. But you ask them what they want to eat, and they don't know nothing. Like,
wait a minute. Now I feel attacked.
I've been around women a very long time. This is common knowledge.
Because now I feel attacked.
This is common knowledge.
What are you talking about?
They put too much pressure on us to know things like that. Like, man, a lot of men, like, we ain't traumatized. Like, we not in negative states. Like, we not about to know that instantly. Man, we got a lot of things that we got to sort through within ourselves. We're not gonna just look at somebody and be like, oh, I know this instantly. Nah, man, we got a lot of problems, and a lot of our problems are unheard because a lot of people are not listening to us, crying out for help and things like that. So no, don't be putting all that pressure on us to know something like that instantly. It's not that simple. It's not that easy. And to think it is stupid. Like, that's why I don't be engaging in a lot of those dialogues, because a lot of that stuff is stupid. To say something like that literally to me is stupid. And I don't care who really gets offended by that. That's stupid. To think that we just instantly know the moment we come across somebody. That is illogical, it's irresponsible, and it's not right. You just don't know that. Love at first sight is garbage. You know what I'm saying? That's just garbage. If I don't know you, I'm not about to say it was love at first sight. I'm not going to give people a fairy tale story. That ain't what this was, and it never will be nothing like that. I ain't going to say nothing was love at first sight. I got to get to know a person, and that's actual facts, and people change. That's the one thing constant in the universe is change. You know what I'm saying? So you can meet a person, and a year later, they could be totally different. So I'm not about to be, we don't do that now. We don't put that type of energy in the atmosphere and be putting that type of pressure on dudes, man. That's stupid. When, again, like I say, man, you ask the average woman what they want to eat, they don't know. But now we suppose one of the biggest decisions in our lives, we supposed to know it when we instantly see it. Come on, man. See, that's the type of weight that they put on a man, especially like a black man, and wonder why we stressed out, wonder why we be holding in a lot of anger and frustration, because we expected to be right and exact as soon as we look at you. We supposed to know, you know, and they wonder why we walk around the way that we walk around, because that's what you say that we supposed to do. I'm supposed to instantly look at you, and then that split second, I know now. Come on, man, don't do us like that.
Well, not necessarily literally.
It's literally, and it's stupid. It ain't no way to rephrase that. It is.
It could
dumb
be.
statement.
It could be something along the
It's a
lines
dumb
of,
statement.
you know, it only take a few months for you to
It's a
know.
dumb statement. No, again, like I said, it especially depending on the age, man. Like, come on, man. Stuff happens in people's lives, man. You know what I'm saying? And it changes people. So no, it don't take a few months. For some, hey, it may be, but that's not going to be that's not going to be the norm, man. I'm not about to do that.
So you're saying those instances are the exception, not the rule.
I'm just saying everybody operate at a different pace. So I'm not about to be like it takes 6 months for no. It could take 6 months for you. It's just like working out. Like this diet can work for you in 6 months, but it might take me a year and a half for this same exact diet to work for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not about to be like it should take 6 months. Says who? Dudes be at different stages in their lives at different ages and times. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't about to put that pressure on no type of dudes. You don't know where these dudes meant to be at when they come across you. You know what I'm saying? So if the dude got everything right and exact and in order, yeah, it might take him 6 to 12 months, maybe. But man, this dude could have just lost his mom, could have lost his grandmother, could have lost his cousin, and all type of stuff could have happened. And you done met this dude, and you about to tell him it should take him 6 months to make that type of decision. Man, it's gonna take that man 6 to 12 months just to get back to normal with some of his thinking. Like, come on, man, we don't do that. You don't know where people be at to be putting that type of pressure on them with that type of decision. If you a dude and you come across that, I'll leave that. Straight up. Especially if you're not in the best place mentally. Like, that's unnecessary energy that you don't really need in your life.
So you're advising men to leave a woman if she's like, you need to hurry up?
If he is in a very unstable place mentally, which a lot of brothers are, and she coming in adding that to the mix,
Okay, so they're
not gonna be able to work on yourself with her putting that energy on you.
Hold on, I'm finna say something. Thank you, Swervo. It says, I love how y'all never rush with having kids. Get married and enjoy each other first before having kids and really get to know the other person. Facts. Okay, big facts. And my grandma said something about that before she passed away. Because her and my granddaddy, she got pregnant on her first time having sex. You know, my granddaddy was like, oh, come on, ain't nothing gonna happen. And then she finally gave in to him. And then she got pregnant, and she was pregnant on her wedding day. And she said if she could do it over, she would have enjoyed her husband first and not had no kids, and then had kids later. And she just started having babies back to back after that. And so, yeah.
And that goes back again. That's another thing that will prove my point about patience. Why I said it. Patience. Now, with kids, I got 90%, at least of the women I come across and the people I come across, they didn't rush and had them kids, and they all say the same thing. If they could go back and do it again, they would not have had those kids. The time they had those kids, rushing, not having patience. They all say the same thing, and it goes back to patience, rushing. They say the same thing when it comes to kids. Same thing.
Well, I'm going to have a moment of transparency because it was a time to where I wanted a baby and we tried and it did not happen. And I'm grateful that it did not happen because I don't think that we would have been or came as far as we are now. So I'm grateful. So I will say that I would give them a little bit of grace with that. But even with that, though, we still didn't rush.
I ain't giving no grace with nothing with rushing because, again,
but we still didn't rush.
These the same people you saying that will criticize you. I'm not giving nobody grace. So don't be critical. When you put all that pressure on somebody to do something, then now you end up unhappy, regretting all these decisions that you made. And they was the ones putting the pressure on.
Yeah.
You was putting
okay,
the pressure,
so yeah,
you was putting
it
the
still
pressure,
stands.
You was putting the pressure on bro to marry you. Now the relationship ain't what it was cracked up to be. Now you're unhappy. You was putting the pressure on the buddy to impregnate you, and now you regretting the kids. Now you treating this kid a certain type of way because he looked like the dad. All this is revolving around a pressure.
Yeah.
So
I will say that I am grateful that it did not result into a child because, man, like the level that we have been able to reach and the goals that we have been able to obtain, I don't know if we would have been able to reach it as swiftly or as accurately or efficiently as we did had we had children to think about. But even still, Swervo, was that Swervo who said that? Yeah, even still, Swervo, when we did try for a child, that was back in 2018, and we have been together since 2012, so that we still didn't rush. And yeah, haven't tried since then because bitch, who got time for some kids? Thank you, Patrick. It says happy anniversary from the Galactic Federation. May your future be beyond belief. Thank you so very much. Y'all drop the salutes down in the comments for Patrick Douglas. Now, it was something I want to go back to what you said. You said something about women rushing. Oh, I had it right there. And you said, okay, you said you shouldn't rush a black man and stuff like that, especially if he has like mental stuff going on, so on and so forth. And you know, he should leave her. However, their pushback and their argument would be, you shouldn't even be dating if you have issues. You shouldn't be. Why are you talking to me if you got all this shit going on here? Get your shit together and then we can talk. So they would say that you're being hypocritical in that statement, when in all actuality, it seems like you shouldn't even be on the dating market.
I mean, that's fine. We didn't talk about how the relationship started. I would advise a brother to work on himself before he start entertaining these women. So I would advise that. But what goes or gets swept under the rug a lot of times, and what they don't be talking about, is the moments where the woman is actually pressuring the relationship and trying to talk to Buddy, and he just trying to appease her and satisfy her. But I ain't gonna talk about that. But if Buddy got things that he needs to work on,
that happens a lot.
It happens way more. They make it seem a lot of times the women paint the picture as the dude was out here chasing her, pursuing her, and she finally gave him a chance. A lot of times that don't be happening.
Oh,
that don't be happening.
We finna talk about it. You gonna get into it.
A lot of times that don't be happening. Now, does it happen sometimes? Yes. But a lot of times that don't be happening.
My husband just opened up a whole can of worms, baby. He just said, all you chicks out there talking about, oh, I'm the prize and I don't never pursue no man, and you know, the lie. Sperm chases the egg and all of that. He's saying that's a lie. More often than not, it is the women out here spotting out these men and trying to set themselves up to be what? Picked. And then when she really want them, now the pressure's on. Oh, why are you taking so long? Oh, what's the hold up? That's what my husband has said. Okay, he just blew the lid off. He just said y'all be out here capping. And I'm going to assume that you are saying that because you have that experience.
Back in the day, yeah. Yeah, 1,000%.
So you're saying all of the women.
Never saying all, but it was a lot. It's very, I would say, if we conducted some type of poll and people was honest, like I would definitely put my money on a lot of times, and it mostly be the women that act like they don't do that. That's where I'm getting at that. Like it mostly be the women that act like they do not pursue men. Most of the time, they be lying.
Oh,
they be lying. They be lying.
Hell nah, say real shit. Exactly. They all want to be picked. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Daniel. I see y'all. Wait a minute. So they live in an illusion, a facade.
You know me. I don't approach people. So you know that stuff comes to me. So back in I'm not a social person. So I wasn't just walking up to women, talking to women. Like, so you know me. You know that's how I operate. So back in the day, again, some of the main women that was acting like on the surface that they do not chase men, these men got to come to them, they got to come correct. Telling you.
Okay, but okay, hold on. Because it could have been an instance of that is how they typically are, but when it comes to a certain guy, they don't mind. Do you think that is a thing?
I'm not going, no, because it, especially when you be in certain cities and you see how small your city is, you come to find out other people didn't talk to the same person that was acting like that, and it was a similar scenario where they was pursuing them. So again, it ain't just a certain type of dude. I'm trying to tell you, some of them chicks that be presenting that image be foul.
Oh,
like a lot of them. I ain't gonna say all of them.
What you mean foul though? Like just because she approaching a man don't mean she foul.
No. First of all, it's foul to make it seem like you don't. So you're lying. That's foul. To make it seem like if you honest about it, then you're not foul. If you say, okay, I pursue dudes, I be in their DMs and no, you're not foul. But when you out here on social media and just in general, acting like that's not what you do, and you don't pursue these dudes and you don't chase these dudes, they chase you. Now you're lying. You're presenting a false image. That's foul. Tell the truth. Tell the truth. Like, that is foul to be lying like that. Like, that's foul. And that happens a lot.
They say you spitting. Somebody asked, how do you feel about the Second Amendment?
Man, come on now. Somebody took me. I forgot the Second Amendment, man.
Let me look it up.
The freedom is. Hold on, man. Forgot which one that is.
I just saw a cue. And again, you all feel free to either, if you have a question, send in a super chat. That's always great. Or just put a big Q in front of it. And then we can see it.
Right to bear arms. Damn, I forgot about that. Somebody asked how I feel about that one.
Yeah.
The right to bear arms.
Yeah.
I have no problem with that. Matter of fact, that's one of the things I'm about to be investing in the near future here. My right to bear arms, hitting up gun classes and stuff like that.
I got the pause for you. I'm gonna bear these arms. Hold on, I'm gonna bear these right here, my love.
That ain't gonna do nothing with the stuff they.
Look at these guns. Oh, I'm sweating. Look at these guns though.
That ain't got the stuff they.
It's these lights.
Stuff they coming with. That ain't gonna work.
Hold on, look at the rips though. Rippage. Got my weight up, which a bitch would. You know what I'm saying? So let's not do too much. Thank you, Keith. It says, when y'all get the chance to do this again, be like Nike and do it. I appreciate y'all. That's why you got to come to the meetup. The Crown Head Conference. It's going down. It's going up. It's going side to side. June 27th, 2026. Okay. What up, Jonathan? What y'all laughing at? Because I do got that smoke. Do I look ripped, my love? I need to work on it. I look pretty swole. I think I'll be somebody else. What you think, Mama?
Man, what are we talking about, man?
Because I've been in the gym.
Talking about guns.
These are my guns.
Not those type of no.
Could I be a bodybuilder, you think? Do women bodybuild?
They do, but
you ain't gonna want that type of woman.
Saying that's nobody. You don't want to. Nah.
Y'all laughing, but that's kind of disrespectful. What y'all laughing at? Y'all see the guns? The rippage? Anyway, let's see if I can find some more questions for my husband, unless y'all got something. Again, feel free to send in a super chat if you have a question, or if you just want to, show us some anniversary love. That's beautiful. Or just put a big Q. All right, let me see. Why is this not working? I like it froze. See? They don't want me to ask you nothing. Okay, let me ask you this one. What role does your partner play in supporting your personal and professional growth?
I mean, like I said, the answer is in that question. Just supporting it. Like, and understanding that it's a process. And with that process, it'll be a lot of ups and downs. So not hounding me about certain things because, again, you understand the process. Like, I'm building something from the ground up, especially with this gym. So it requires a lot of my time, and that has to be like understood because things were not handed to me in the corporate world, which I tried that for some years, so just being patient, understanding and trusting the process and just not hounding me about small things. Because again, like I say, I'm building this from the ground up and it's literally me. A lot of people got gyms, but they got teams. Like I'm literally, you walk in the gym like it's me, and I'll be dealing with a lot of people. She's seen all these people being there, and it just be me writing the workouts down and all that. So just being patient, not hounding me, because again, it could get stressful, it could get irritating. So any type of hounding could just set me off. So just being patient, understanding, and just giving grace. Like I say, I deal with a lot of people, and I'm building something powerful, but it's a lot of cons to it, and it's just a very turbulent process. So yeah, just patience, just grace and understanding. And
so you feel like I did it for you?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, everybody.
What's the most part?
Everybody gonna slip up, man. I mean, you human. You gonna want more
I'm
time.
perfect.
You gonna want more time with your significant other. But like I say, when you're building something that requires a lot of your time, and it's only we got the same hours in the day, so it's not like the days get extended. So some days you just gonna be in your business a little bit more than you with your significant other. Man.
Yeah.
So I understand, feeling some type of way about that, but again, just giving grace, because like I said, things weren't handed to me. You watched me try it the legit corporate way, and that was not working for me.
Yeah.
So I had to do this the way that I'm doing it, which is a lot more complicated. But I'm gonna get to where I need to be to afford myself more time. So that's happening.
And I'm very proud of you, Mom. If y'all didn't know, my husband was accepted into, is it called the master's program?
Yeah.
My husband was accepted into the master's program for, is it counseling?
Counseling with an emphasis on mental health.
Counseling with an emphasis on mental health. So he's wanting to get into that because he does feel like when it comes to Black men, y'all don't have a lot of representation, and y'all don't have a lot of Black male, leadership, or is it really like a therapist type of deal?
I can eventually get the license to do that. So it's sort of similar.
So it's not a lot of that, and I feel like that also contributes to why maybe a lot of Black men are not seeking any professional help when it comes to what they're battling or going through mentally or internally. So my husband really wants to get into that for that reason, and he starts classes in August.
Yeah, it's like the end of August.
The end of August. So salute. Somebody asked, what do you think about what's going on in LA, and should Black people get involved? Are they talking about like with the ICE?
Yeah. I briefly was tapped into that, but I haven't dug deep into that.
I think Black people, like American Black people, I feel like we should mind our business. Because, the reason why I'm gonna say that is because who goes out marching for us on the, you know what I'm saying? Like, let me shut up. You have like a handful of people out there with us. Other than that, it's like, oh, just Blacks being Blacks, niggers being niggers. So I'm gonna mind my damn business.
I mean, people kind of know how I feel about a lot of other ethnic groups, so I don't really need to give my opinion on that.
They was like, oh, and to me personally, they wouldn't stand up for us. Exactly, Tony. And me personally, I mean, why are you here anyway? We can't just go to other people's countries and stake ourselves out and say, oh, I'm gonna live here now. No, we have to go through the proper channels. So no, I'm not gonna be out here fighting for people who are breaking the law to stay breaking the law. Is that what y'all talking about when it comes to like the LA stuff? Because I've been seeing a lot of people like, oh, that is so bad that they are sending in people, the ICE people at graduations and at funerals and this, that, and the third. And it's like, I mean, yeah, I have enough humanity to feel you on that. But at the end of the day, you shouldn't be here anyway. The fuck? So I don't know, because who would have pity on us? Oh, you niggers, you shouldn't have been there anyway. If you wasn't here, you wouldn't have to get taken off at the funeral. No, so that's just how I feel about it. But they didn't ask me.
But the irony of that is the people who taking them shouldn't be here anyway either.
Oh.
So that's what I'm saying. People don't want to hear me talk about that. I don't fool with them folks neither now. You know what I'm saying? It's like them folks that's taking them up, they shouldn't be here either.
Ooh.
This is not their homeland either. You know what I'm saying? So if we want to really talk about that, matter of fact,
The original
the
people,
Hispanic,
us.
the Hispanic folks actually have more rights to this land than them white folks. So
Oh
to
shit.
keep it to be honest,
Y'all done open up a whole can of worms. Hold on, Nudgy.
with you, but I don't care.
Jonathan, man, here he go. Here he go. Straight up. Y'all are here clowning. Wait a minute. Anyway, let me see. Who else I saw with a question? Because y'all done got this man started. Lord have mercy. So you saying the only people who should be here is the people of color? Let me just
original people of the planet Earth, and they are last on a spectrum. But act like they discovered something, act like they got the right to tell somebody where they don't belong. They don't have the right to do that. So that's my only problem with that. Now I ain't about to go to bat for these other ethnic groups, but a white man telling somebody they ain't got the right to be here, that's weird. That's weird. So I don't really want to hear that. They over there colonizing these other folks' land where they don't have no right to be, and they try to tell people they don't have no right to be here. That's weird. They all in parts of Africa colonizing it. Them white folks, when you look at Egyptians, how they look, them people don't belong in these places, neither. And they are there. They are there doing things that they shouldn't be doing, destroying temples, destroying, I'm talking about ancient monuments, all that type of stuff, man. So nah,
I'm gonna go use the bathroom, my love.
I don't fool with that.
I gotta pee.
I don't fool with them type of people telling other folks where they should and shouldn't be or where they don't belong.
My love, you gotta relax.
Nah, I don't have to relax. I ain't gotta relax. See, you gotta relax when we talk about white folks. I ain't gotta relax. When I was talking about the women, I ain't had to relax.
Okay, I'm finna go pee.
So I ain't finna relax when I'm talking about them.
And when you get done, answer this question. It says, when vetting for a wife, what did you look for her to do for you? I gotta pee.
Man, I ain't got my glass on. I can't see none of the stuff on the screen.
When vetting
I see the question, but I ain't about to be watching this screen. Hold on, who is that? Facts for life. You say when vetting for a wife, what did you look for her to do for you? Man, like people don't know the origin of the story. I wasn't necessarily out here vetting. Man, I was literally in school, and like I say, man, we deal with the law of attraction. I was working on myself, man. I was dealing with personal growth, man. I was establishing myself as a young man. And when you're doing that type of stuff, man, you attract what it is that you need in life. So I wasn't necessarily vetting anything. I just attracted what I needed in life, you know. And again, it was just the respect, the grace, and the things that the characteristic traits that balance me out. And that's exactly what I attracted. So when you living righteously, when you dealing with personal growth, you know, when you working on yourself on a daily basis, like you are going to attract exactly what you need. And once you attract it, you're going to recognize that immediately. You're going to recognize that, you know, and I just recognized that. So I wasn't vetting, you know, I wasn't vetting anything. I just work on myself, and the way that I carry myself as a man, when you carry yourself properly, she going to do exactly what you need her to do. She going to do exactly what you need her to do when you carry yourself properly. And I get a lot of hold on, man, y'all asking all type of questions now. Hold on.
You went to the bottom.
I just saw the same person. Man, I'm gonna let you sort through that. I ain't about to be scrolling, but yeah.
Let me see. Thank you, Carla. What you saw?
The same dude asked me something, a gym question or something.
A gym question?
Same cat that asked that question.
Re-ask it.
Something about burning fat. Something I ain't see.
Re-ask it for us. And put a big Q in the front. Thank you, Montel. It says, I saw that the other day. Congrats on the acceptance, Mr. Bill. I'm about to graduate college and might go back for psychology. Salute to you.
There he is.
Let me see. Hold on. Let me go to fan funding. So shout out to you, Montel. Thank you. Thank you, Keith. It says, when y'all get the chance to do this again, I got that one. Okay, I think I am caught up. Okay, I think I'm caught up. Any more questions, y'all? Carry yourself properly, preach. Let me see. Let me go on my phone. You said they asked something about.
Buddy asked something about the gym, then it went away. I couldn't see it.
Sean says, how do you deal with the attention the internet on your relationship? How do you deal with the attention on the internet on your relationship?
people that I'm pretty unbothered, man. I be in my own bubble. I don't be worrying about that. So first of all, because I know it's simply the internet, anybody that's talking crazy for the most part, they're not gonna talk crazy to one's face.
Period.
So I'm not going, I don't get riled up now. If you would have known me 13, 14 years ago, I used to go back and forth with folks. So I came a long way from that, but that was bad for my health. I used to be ready to throw hands with a lot of people via the internet. But then I realized most of those folks don't want to really throw hands. They just tough behind the keyboard. So once I accepted that, understood that, I don't even pay this stuff any mind.
Yeah. I'm gonna be real though. I am still a woman at the end of the day, and I'm a human. And so some things can piss me off. And then I want to respond, and I probably will, and I do. But when you do respond, it's like a catch-22 with it, because people are saying that, oh, if it didn't bother you, then you wouldn't have reacted that way, or you wouldn't say nothing, this, that, and third. But at the end of the day, like I said, like, y'all need to shut the hell up and mind y'all damn business, because y'all don't be knowing what y'all talking about. And sometimes you got to chin check and correct.
I'm not going to tell them to mind their business. If I put it out here for you, then it's here for you to evaluate it. But I don't.
It depends. It's levels to that. Because people start prying.
I'm just saying, I'm not going to say mind your business, because I'm putting my business out there. If I wanted you to mind your business and not get mine, I'll make stuff private. So I'm not going to say mind your business. My business is out here. So I got options. At the end of the day, you got a decision. I could see that person that's talking slick, and I could address it, or I could not address it. At the end of the day, the power is in my hand. They don't have the power. I'm not going to give them that power, because I put my business out here. They made a decision. They said, I'm going to address what they put out here. Now it's up to me. I could let that bother me, or I could say, you know what? It ain't worth my time, and I keep it pushing.
Okay, so let me just put it like this. And let's see if you have the same sentiment, which I'm sure you will, because you know how to find loopholes for shit. So somebody came to me just recently talking about, you need to stop wearing makeup because makeup is toxic, and I would never approach no black woman that got makeup on, because I'm already going to assume that she has a colonized mindset, this, then the third. Pump your motherfucking brakes. First things first, I can do what the hell I want to do. You're not my husband. Second off, who asked you about what I should be doing and if I wanted you to approach me? So to me, that's overstepping your boundaries.
And you saying something the person did what exactly? He's still gonna feel the same type of way about every woman that wears makeup. So ignore that. Keep your sanity. That's pointless. You ain't just changed his mind. You just got aggravated and let that bother you and get your blood pressure up. I'm not entertaining that. You're not gonna change that person's perspective. So don't entertain that. And quit saying that I'm a woman, justifying it. Like, no, we gotta acknowledge that I'm a woman and then do something better. Don't keep saying you a woman to justify and rationalize being emotional. Like, no, like, you acknowledge it and grow. Don't be like, oh, I'm a woman, so that gives me the right to.
I'm just saying, I don't like the automatic assumption of, who cares, though? I didn't do my research on the stuff that I put on my face.
You want to prove to him that you did your research? Whoop-de-doo, he's still gonna feel the same way. You're not about to change that man's mind. And that man ain't gonna say nothing. That man ain't gonna say nothing to you if I'm right there and he see us out, or he get punched in the face. So then
nobody's gonna punch nobody in the face.
I'm just saying, he's not gonna do that.
Nobody's gonna punch.
But I'm saying the person's not gonna say that.
But what I'm saying
person's not gonna say that.
That's a point of you minding your damn business. That's overstepping a boundary.
He didn't mind his business, and you can't do nothing about it unless you private and block the person. He couldn't mind his business because you put it out here. You looking like how you looking on the camera, and it's for him to comment on. So that's he can comment. He has the right to comment. We can't take away that right.
What y'all laughing for? Because
I ain't mad at people for exercising their right, because I say a lot of stuff that's wicked and a lot of people don't like. I'm talking about white folks. They don't like what I'm saying. So I'm not about to be like, people try to censor me all the time. You know what I'm saying? People try to censor me all the time for the stuff that I say. So I will let you say what you want to say. I'm not going to censor you. I'm not going to tell you mind your business, especially if I'm out here saying what I want to say. Say what you want to say. But then I can respond how I want to respond. And again, I can.
But that's what I'm saying. You're not even focusing on what I'm saying. You all up in my mix on my foundation. Do you know how much money I spent on my foundation? That's top of the line. This ain't no regular drugstore.
Who cares?
So mind your business.
Who cares about the money?
But it's to emphasize my point of I've done my research on what I put on my skin.
Further getting people in your business by doing that. So now, I ain't finna let nobody can get under my skin like that to where I'm about to be responding like that. Those days are gone.
Nah, sometimes y'all need that motherfucking smoke.
They didn't need nothing because you didn't change his mind. He's going to do the same exact thing. He's going to feel the same exact way. You're wasting energy. There are other people who will probably listen to you. Talk to them. Don't give that type of person your energy. Give more of that energy to the people who support you. That's wasting energy, wasting time. Time is very limited out here. So I'm not going to give my precious time to somebody like that. What's the point?
All I'm saying is,
I don't
mind you not minding your business when it comes to stuff that I'm actually
talking about. Right, you biased with it. So no, you can mind your business. If I'm putting myself out there, yes, you can say whatever you want to say because I put myself out there for the world to critique me. Fine. So now I have the option. So that's one thing I don't like. Don't put yourself out and start crying about it.
No.
That's a fact.
Shut your ass up.
These people are not going to shut up. You can't make them unless you block them. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't make these people shut up. That's my point. So I'm not about to get in my feelings about something I chose to do. I chose to be a public figure. Mm-hmm. I chose to put myself out here like that.
What is funny?
So I'm cool with it.
I showed y'all my guns earlier. We're not going to do too much. Mind y'all damn business when it comes to certain things that I'm not even addressing. Oh, yeah, and why you got them eyelashes on, and why your clothes so tight, and why your body so banging? Shut the fuck up. The fuck?
And they're not. So then what? Now you just saying that for no reason. So again, focus on the 95% of people who are saying positive things to you. Like, that's what you focus on.
I'm just saying, no, because sometimes you gotta example them. What he saying? Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas. Sometimes you gotta pop out and show niggas, look, this ain't that.
You're not exampling anything.
This ain't that.
You're not exampling anything. I guarantee you that dude feel the same exact way.
I don't care. But at least now he got a piece of my mind.
That did absolutely nothing for the development of our people.
It helped me.
It did nothing.
Instead of suppressing the issue, acting like it did not irritate me.
Look how this thing came up and look how you responded. No, it didn't.
My love, but it did help.
No, it didn't.
My love.
No, it did not.
It did.
No, it did. First of all, if it did help, that's a problem because you don't know this person.
Oh, because I'm gonna go to fuck off.
This is a person that you don't know, that you will never come across.
I'm a woman.
And you let him see. There we go. Now I'm gonna exit the conversation.
Anything else? Anything else? Because you might catch me on the wrong day. You might catch the right one on the wrong day. Anyway, let me see if I got some more questions for you. Any other questions? The fuck got me messed up. In my life, you was not gonna punch somebody in the face. We're not gonna do that.
I'm just saying, ain't nobody gonna come up to you and say some of this bold stuff that they saying online while we are out together. It's not gonna happen. I'm just saying, like, people talk tough behind these computer screens. They're not going to do that when you're out.
Carla says, question, any plans for little ones anytime soon? I will let Eric answer that because he's the leader of the household.
Hey, you know how I operate.
How you operate?
Yeah.
I'm gonna say, let me answer first a little bit. Do I want children right now? No. However, at the end of the day, it's my husband's decision. And if he want a baby, I'm gonna bust it open. Period. So, Carla, it ain't on me. It ain't on me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna let you answer that.
Right now, we focusing on building exactly what it is that we building. If it happens, it's gonna happen. But as far as planning it, we figured out that it's a little stressful.
That is stressful.
So
what's stressful about it for you as a man? Because I know for me as a woman, like we try for that had to be like 2000, was it 18? We tried for some months, right? And what was stressful for me as a woman was tracking my ovulation, peeing on test strips, getting the peaks, and then having to have sex at this time and then wait for him to get off work and making sure that he's not too tired. And like, it just felt so forced. And it felt so, I don't know. It was stressful though, you know, especially as a woman, because I felt like as a woman, you are the one that has to like really track what's happening with your body. And so what I was able to learn so much, Carla, about my body during that time, because I would be able to see, oh, okay, well, I typically start to have my peaks around this time. And, you know, it was kind of fun to see that it was a pattern. Like the woman's body, just from observing my own, is so fascinating. Like we're straight up on a cycle. And I feel like that is just fucking phenomenal and beautiful as a woman to see. Damn, like it's straight down to you. Like you can make this to a science, like it is science. So I love that aspect of it. But as far as feeling like, oh, okay, well, your body is doing this at this time, you know, you got to go and have sex, but your husband at work, or your husband gets off work and he don't feel like it. And then you have to try to, you know, get in the mood. Like this shit is trash. So I can't agree with you about that. And another thing for me as a woman was doing all of that and then still getting your period the following month. And it's like, and now you feel like you did all that hard work of peeing on test strips and, you know, getting ovulation kits and shit for nothing. And for me as a woman, like that was fucking stressful. Putting the thermometers in your cooch, like that's a lot. Who got time for all of that? So as a woman, that was my issue. I don't really know what a man's stressful elements of that would be. So my stress was ovulation kits, but thermometers, having to fuck at this time and, you know, do it these days consecutively or every other day. That was stressful for me. But for a man, like what is the pressures and stress of trying, quote unquote, for a baby?
I was just saying that stuff puts a physical toll on one's body and mind.
And mind?
Physical toll.
Okay, explain.
There's really nothing to explain. Everything that you said, you're not just dealing with that. I gotta deal with that. So women don't understand. They talk about all the stuff that women go through and deal with. When you with somebody, you're not just dealing with that. We gotta deal with y'all when y'all are dealing with these things. That don't not affect us. And that takes a toll. Like whether y'all want to acknowledge that toll or not, it takes a toll. So that like when y'all talk about periods and stuff like that, yeah, we got to deal with y'all when y'all going through it. That's not the easiest thing to do, and that takes a mental toll on us. But we can't talk about it because we can't relate to the period. But man, y'all can't relate to dealing with the person with the period. So we can say the same thing. So it's like, but our stuff gets swept under the rug because we are not experiencing it. Like, no, but we dealing with it, and that is hard. It's hard. It could be irritating, like for sure, especially depending on your personality type. Like, man, some stuff I just don't be having time to be trying to deal with because I just value peace. I don't got time to be operating under a certain type of frequency, man. Sometimes, like you say, when y'all hormones are out of whack, it comes. And it might come at a time where I'm zenned out. And so now you trying to throw my zen off. But then if I try to prioritize my zen, I'm selfish. So it's like, man, that gets complicated. Oh, you don't care. No, I'm zenned out and I would like to stay that way. It's not that I don't care about what you're going through, but I don't want to be stressed out. Somebody got to be zenned out, but it's like sometimes you get viewed as selfish and all this type of stuff when you trying to value your zen state during tumultuous times. You don't care about nothing and this and that. Like, dude, it's like sometimes y'all be wanting us to be freaked out with y'all, and that's stressful. Like we don't know how to respond to certain things because if we too cool and we get told we don't care, we nonchalant. But then if we freaking out, we get criticized for that too. So now you don't be knowing how to respond to certain things when y'all going through it, and that's annoying. Like just leave me alone. Like I'm zenned out. Let me be zenned out. Don't tell me I don't care. Like I'm trying to keep a level head here because somebody got to keep it. But a lot of times that gets misinterpreted as you do not care or I don't care. And I don't be liking that. So again, sometimes when y'all going through y'all things, man, y'all unfairly come at us because of the way we handling it. And it's like, that ain't right. Like, y'all don't really be knowing how it is to deal with y'all under certain circumstances. Like, y'all really don't know. Y'all think like, yeah, y'all just don't know. It could become a headache, and it could take a physical toll, especially when it's stuff like that. Like sex in and of itself. That's why they encourage us not to have sex before games. Like, I played sports for a very long time. One of the main things they told you, don't have sex before the game. It can hinder your performance. So if you doing that few days consecutively and you still got to work out, train people, man, you are exhausted. Like, you can't perform at an optimal level when you're doing that. That's why they tell you, if you want to be at your peak performance for like a sport, do not engage in sexual activity. That we was given that advice all the time playing sports. And it was right and exact, because when you was boneheaded and did that before a game, you sluggish, you was trash out there. So it's like, man, that takes a literal physical toll. That's the what they call the sperm, the life force of a man. Like, you keep on releasing that, man, it's the life force coming up out you, man. You could be drained, you know. So, and on top of the other stuff that you're dealing with, and then on top of the letdown, I'm frustrated now, so now I got to deal with that. So now it's like, if I'm not frustrated, then it's like I don't care again. But that's just my attitude. And again, it's like, you can't. It's like you can't win.
Yeah, I can see that.
So that right there is stressful in and of itself, because it messes with my natural state of being and my natural personality type. I don't freak out. I don't get the stressing out. I don't get excited. You know what I'm saying? Like, that stuff don't happen. So when stuff happens and it results in something, I'm not about to be sad with you. I'm not about to be overly excited. Like, I'm always mellow, and it's the expectation for me to respond a certain type of way. And I'm like, nah, I'm cool. I don't be liking that.
Yeah.
And that gets.
I mean, and something else, since we on the topic of like babies and baby making and shit, another thing that was kind of stressful for me or frustrating for me was like, because y'all already know, like, when it comes to like women, like, our bodies are naturally going through like these hormonal fluctuations and shit like that. And so it would be kind of annoying for me, like, and we family, so I can be like this with y'all. I'm gonna tell y'all this, but like, you will start feeling kind of frisky, right? And so you like, oh damn, I'm feeling kind of frisky, and so you go and pee on the stick or whatever, and then you see, oh, I'm peaking right now, like my egg getting ready to, getting ready to drop the mic. But guess what? I don't have no mic to drop it on because my husband at work, and then like it just would be so frustrating, thinking that, oh, I'm missing this opportunity or I'm missing this window and I could be getting it in right now because I'm feeling frisky enough to even do it. And then by the time he get home, you see the peak went down and you're like, well, damn, did I just miss the window to, get pregnant? Like, that shit was stressful, y'all. Or you'll get your peak and your husband is home, but now he's asleep. And he's sleepy because he ain't worked 12 damn hours. Like, that shit, it is stressful, my love. So when and if we do try again, I think I would not want to do all of that. And people were telling me not to do that too. They was like, nigga, just let that shit flow. But it is something about having some kind of like formula that was kind of helpful for me, but it was stressful. But everybody I was talking to, that was like, girl, you just let it flow, let it happen. It'll happen when it happens. If it's gonna happen, it's gonna happen. Like, you don't have to do all of this and do all of that. But I was just like, man, fuck y'all know what y'all talking about. If I can track my shit, I'm gonna track my shit. But it was stressing me out. And so maybe I am the type of person who does not need to do that. Maybe I am. Because it is people out here who are tracking their stuff and they are able to, do what they need to do. But maybe they're the type who does not stress out over that or become overly consumed. So yeah, I don't think I would want to do that again. What up, Dale? Let me see. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to y'all. Let me see. Who else? They say you the first one on YouTube who called out the white hypocrisy. regarding deporting anyone for being illegal in a country that they themselves took. That's a whole bar.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
Look, y'all ain't gonna give me no strike. Y'all better shut up. You don't think having kids later means your kids may have kids too later, and that means you'll never be able to be grandparents? Thank you, the main lion. How you feel about that, my love?
I mean, I don't care about it. First of all, I take care of myself. Secondly,
Period.
It's just about legacy. Like, as long as you if I have a child and I set them up to succeed, it's just about legacy. Then I ain't really worried about that. I mean, that's something good to see, but if I have a child raising that seed correctly, that's all I'm concerned about. And then the legacy will continue to live on. Like, that's all I'm worried about.
See, and that's what I can really respect about you, my love, is that you have like a very selfless approach and perspective on different things. And I feel like that is what will make you a good father, if and when, is because you're not really consumed or concerned about, how would this make me feel? And I want to be able to experience this, and I want to be able to have this. Like, I feel like you come from a standpoint of, I just want to make sure that you're good. Whether I'm a part of it or not, whether I get to see it or not, that's none of my concern. I just want you to be good. And I can appreciate that. And I feel like when it comes to having families, a lot of us do have very selfish approaches to that. Like, it's all about what we want and about how we feel and how, we may feel like this and, may not be able to experience that, when overall it's not about you. And that's why that's another reason why I should say I am grateful that I did not have a baby when I was trying, because I myself was too caught up in that rut of only wanting it for my own selfish needs and my own selfish quote unquote fulfillment, versus now as I've been able to mature, evolve, and grow. I think when I am a mother, I'm going to come from it, or if and when I am a mother, I would approach it from a standpoint of just making sure my baby is good. It's not about how I feel and what I want and what I need and all of that. It's really about creating a human being that is able to be self-sufficient, at peace, thrive, and grow. It ain't about you. If that makes any sense. Does that make sense, Mama? Did I articulate that right? Yeah. But thank you to Mainline. It says happy anniversary to you too, and congratulations to Eric on the therapy program acceptance. Thank you so much. Thank you. Get out of town. It says salute to the realest duo. Y'all really give the brother and sisters hope. Thank you so much. But yeah, I've heard a lot of people take that approach. They feel like by you waiting to have babies, especially like later on in life, that you are doing yourself a disservice and your children, because you're not going to be quote unquote around to really watch them mature and grow until adulthood, because you are advanced in age.
I'm gonna be all right. I take care of myself.
I mean, and again, we both come from families to where, like, your granddaddy is damn near 100 years old.
About to be 94.
His granddad getting ready to be 94 years old. He's still playing the guitar. He's still singing. He's still stepping. Like, he's still doing all of that. So coming to Eric with that is like, nigga, please. And then my great grandmother just passed away early last year, and I believe she was 96. So I'm under the impression of, as long as you are being healthy and taking care of yourself, I'm not really concerned with all of that. And I feel like more of us need to get in that mindset of feeling like, okay, let me just make sure that I'm doing what I need to do to make sure that I am healthy, I am able and capable, and I'm going to flourish. I'm going to be all right. But with us having this mindset of, oh, I got to hurry up and this, that, and the third, I do feel like that plays a role in us making the wrong decisions, rushing, not having that patience like you talked about, and setting ourselves up for failure, to where you are looking back like, damn, I wish I kind of didn't have that mentality, or I wish I kind of did take my time and wait, so on and so forth. Do you feel like the world is shifting to where that is becoming the new norm though? Because I do see that. I see a lot of people who are adopting the same mentality that we have. So where it's like, look, let me make sure my shit is straight first. And no, it ain't gotta be perfect, but it gotta at least have a sturdy foundation to build upon. I'm not gonna just try to hurry up and do something because I want to reach this milestone before this particular age. If I'm not where I need to be at that particular age, what does it matter? You know what I mean? So I'm reading the subjects in a second, but do you feel that way too? Like, do you feel like more people are starting to come around to the idea of, you know, not really putting so much emphasis on time frames or ages and, you know, things of that sort?
That's because the world is kind of forcing that on them, man.
Oh, that is true. The economy, the inflation.
The world is weird.
Yeah.
Like you gotta work 3-4 jobs to keep the lights on. It's like, man, you can't afford, like, like financially, it don't even be making sense sometimes. And that's just keeping it real.
Okay, so let me ask you this though. Was it ever a time to where financially it made sense to have kids, or was it just something that was more feasible to do?
There were periods where
in our lifetime.
It was yes. There were periods.
To where you can be like, okay, yeah, we can have kids and be okay.
Ain't always been like the 90s was a perfect period. Like the economy ain't always been garbage. It ebbs and flows, but like the economy ain't always been what it is. So it was definitely quite a few periods where it was okay and it was fine. But right now is a rough period because you look like just jobs in general, automation. I guess a lot of things that's contributing to taking away money from folks that didn't exist back then. Like a lot of opportunities are about to get taken away from people because of like automation, robots.
Yeah, I did see something.
So that's part of what I'm really talking about. So it's rough out here in that regard. Like I know couples, man, with one kid that both of them got to work 2-3 jobs and they still struggling. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the way of the world, man. And then some of the jobs, like even like family members, some of the jobs back in like the 90s that were considered great jobs, like you get that job right now, the pay is nowhere near what it was back then. Like even my pops had talked about that on his job, like how he came in the gate, and when he came in the gate, how that was a great job to have. Now that same exact job, you get it now, you can't take care of a whole family how you did for the same exact job. This job ain't changed. You know what I'm saying? So that's the problem. So you definitely had some periods.
Okay. So as we have been adults, has it been a time to where it's like, yeah, you can do that? I'm not talking about us, you know, being able to witness our parents be able to flourish or our grandparents, but in our generation, has it been a time to where when we were adults, you will be like, oh yeah, the economy is good enough to start a family?
I mean, we shortly after we was like 18. No, let me see. That was 09. No. So I say maybe 2013, 2014-ish. I mean, it was cool. It hit me like right now, it's really rough. Like because of the jobs and things like that. Like I'm looking from a futuristic standpoint also. Like I'm not necessarily just dealing with the current economy, which is kind of garbage, but I'm thinking 10, 15, 20 years ahead also. And it's just not looking promising in that regard, you know. But even back then, when I'm saying it was cool, again, if you had your future lenses on, then you would have been able to see this coming. So it's kind of rough to answer that because I ain't gonna say I had a dark view toward the future, but back then, like things were not looking promising. But the economy at that time was not the worst. But like right around the time it was like 07, 08, the economy was pretty rough. Yeah, gas like $4-5 a gallon. Then it was like shortly after that, things kind of simmered down a little bit. That would have been a cool period at that moment. But if you would have had your lenses on for the future, then you would have seen this coming.
So let me ask you this. When we were trying to have our baby back in 2017, 2018, I think it's 2018, 2019, somewhere around there. And we would have, let's say, conceived a child and had a child by now. How old would that child be?
it was 2018, is hypothetically the child was born that same exact year, you looking at going on 7.
Okay, so we would have a 7-year-old child, right?
And would the world went to complete trash right after that?
That's what I'm saying. So I'm getting ready to ask you, if we were to have a 7-year-old child right now, do you feel like you would be okay with raising that child in today's time? Like, would you be like, damn, I kind of wish I would have waited?
I don't operate like that, especially when it comes to the youth. Like, you got to make the stuff happen.
Yeah.
But you got to adapt and adjust to your personal preferences. Like, one thing, I wouldn't send them out to these schools for sure. So I would have to find out a way to where homeschooling got to happen. But if this was like 1995, I would probably have felt comfortable. Like, all right, man, we send them off to school. Now, no. At no point do I feel comfortable sending a child to any school. No point. So I would have to figure out a way to structure my life to where this child is not entering any of these school districts. I just don't agree with it. Now, like I say, if this would have been late 90s or something, like it might have had a different perspective. I might have accepted the school until a certain point or whatever the case. Now, no. No, emphatically no to no school. Like, it's just trash out here. The stuff that they are teaching and the stuff that they are going to teach in the near future. Wants no parts of that. And so looking at 7, you looking at first, second grade or something like that.
7?
One of them.
Yeah, first grade.
Yeah, so like.
So that makes me want to ask this question. So when it is a quote unquote good time to have kids and shit like this happens, is it then ever a right time or a good time to have kids?
So, because
like you said, it could be good now and then in a few years it's like trash. So that goes back into other people's point of, it's gonna always be something. So just do what you need to do or what you want to do, and like you say, make stuff happen, make it shake.
It's like I say, it's cool, but it's certain. Like right now is just a rough time.
I agree.
Right now is a rough time. Like 2020, that's just a rough time. It's like certain times are just rougher than.
Hey, it was a baby boom in 2020.
Even for personal reasons, man. Like my grandmother passed 2019. Other people, I had deaths and stuff. That just would have been terrible. That would have been a horrible time for personal reasons, on top of just the world. So I ain't even necessarily just even talking about that. Like, for personal reasons, that I'd have been in a very messed up mental state. And it would have been a little bit harder to make the things that I would have liked to have happen. Yeah. Because of the state that I was in. Stuff just kept happening. It just kept happening. And so, yeah.
Yeah, and it's always, when I look back on certain things, it always ends up being like a blessing in disguise, so to speak. To where you are like, damn, I'm kind of glad that didn't work out for me, quote unquote. Or go as I wanted it to, or as I planned for it to go. Because that it would have, I'm gonna be real, it would have been rough. It would have been rough, my love, trying to do all of that. And like, would you have even opened up a gym?
No.
That's what I'm saying.
I wouldn't have opened it up the way that I did it. No.
That's what I'm saying, because you have to think about, I got to make ends meet. So let me go ahead and work this job and this job and this job, because I got to feed a child, or I got to pay for homeschooling, or what's the other schools they be having?
But at the end of the day, them jobs disrespecting me so much, I still wouldn't have been able to do what I wanted to do. Working them little trash jobs, and I was still working too much. I was working at a bank, at the gym, and that still wasn't enough. So at the end of the day, like, I was gonna have to make some shape for myself regardless.
So once again, a lot of people will argue the fact of, well, it's never a good time. So what are you essentially waiting for?
I mean, that's great that they have that opinion. I'm not about to be arguing with people about their opinion. That's great. That's great. Like, for one, I'm never saying that if I did have a child, the child would be trash. Like, I'm not saying that. You're gonna always rise to the occasion, but some people just would choose to have children later on. Like, I don't really be liking that. You know what I'm saying? Like, some people, that's just how they want to do it. Like, we not questioning y'all for like having the children too early, or so to speak.
I am.
I'm not asking no questions. I don't care. You know what I'm saying?
I am.
Don't
I
bring
want to
that.
ask, why would y'all bring babies into the world to where you are not stable? Like, why would you want to bring, if you know you poor or you live in paycheck to paycheck, why would you bring children into that? I want to know, why are you getting pregnant by ancient niggas? I want to know why you as a man are impregnating females that you don't like, you don't want to be with, you ain't got no baby, and I want to know these things. Yes, I am.
And all this stuff happens when you have babies older too. So again, it happens both ways. So again, I don't really care. Just don't ask me that. I ain't gotta answer you. I don't have to answer that. Is what I'm saying.
So they would say then you just making excuses.
Not making any excuse.
Because it's never a right time. So what's the hold up?
It's never a right time for them. The right time is when I have one. That's the right time for me. So
okay, so let me ask you this.
I don't operate on other people's time and schedule.
And don't.
So I don't.
But let me ask you this. And I know you hate these type of hypotheticals, but we gonna do it anyway. If you could have the perfect setup, what would it be for you to say, okay, I'm ready now?
The perfect setup as in what?
For you to have a baby. The economy would have to be great.
It ain't the economy. I don't care. I don't care what the economy is. I'm the culture that I come from. I'm gonna find a way to succeed.
Facts.
No matter what the economy is. My thing is time. Like right now, what I'm building requires too much of my time. So you talking a 7-year-old. If I still had the same schedule I had, you talking sports. You just talking extracurricular activity. You want to be present for that. So you don't want to have a schedule where, oh man, I got to be training all these people and I can't be present. You don't want to do that. So you want to have a schedule to where it's like, all right, whatever events, whatever practices they have, I'm there. It's like right now, honestly, I wouldn't be able to do that. I'd be missing out on valuable money. So, and unfortunately, that was kind of my pops at the time, but he had to do that, but he missed a lot of practices and games and stuff like that. I don't personally want to do that. So I would like to be present for things because I didn't have the male presence there all the time like I wanted. So I know how impactful that could be, especially when you playing man-dominated sports. Like football, it's cool my mama was in the stands, but man, I needed dude in there all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I know how that could feel. So I would never want to pass that along. And this ain't no slight to my pops because I know why he did it and what he was doing. I'm just saying that I know how that can feel when it's not there. And I wouldn't want to present that type of lifestyle to a child because you're supposed to do better than what happened to you. So I don't want to do the same exact thing. So
your thing is time. Like you want to free up your time enough to where you can be present.
It's like and I definitely don't want to be on nobody else's dime when it comes to that. I don't want to be having to ask for permission to go to a child's practice. Like, you know what I'm saying?
So you want the freedom too.
Yeah, I don't want to be having to tell folks, hey, my kid got man. It's like, my schedule, I'm in control of that. I'm here because I'm here. And I control it. So whatever happened, I can schedule my life around that. So
I can respect that.
So and right now, and it's just the economy, like it's making that a little bit more complicated. But I mean, things will be figured out, but you gotta work a little harder now to get some things that you could have gotten like 8 hours a week back in the day. Now you got to do 15 hours a week, might get you that now. So you got to be working a lot more. So you just got to figure out ways to work a little smarter and not harder. But it's coming around. So
yeah, it's definitely coming around. So we'll get back to you, Carla, within the next year or two. You know what I'm saying? I think we should have somebody if we want to, because we like to have our money too. Because that's a big thing, my love. Like, I want my money. Kids cost money, my love. Don't you know that? Don't you like having your money? And being able to just do what you want to do.
At the end of the day,
I got to work around this person.
If you invest in the child properly.
Leave me alone, little girl. Little dude.
Investing in the child properly will get you money in the long run.
Will it? That's a gamble.
I said, listen to what I'm saying. Investing in every life is a gamble. But investing in the child properly will get you rewarded in the long run. So again,
Jay, I'm dead serious.
Worried about that type of stuff.
Y'all cost too much. Mama gotta have a life too, Jody. Shit, y'all want me to bring you back fat burgers and shit? Like, you know, sometimes I'm gonna be real, Mala. Like you said, freedom. I like my freedom of just being able to get up and go when I want to. I ain't gotta say, oh damn, these damn kids, you know. But I'm sure that would change once I become a mother. You know, I might fall in love with my baby. Well, I will fall in love with my baby. It won't matter no more. But right now, I'm like, girl, like if I had a child, like me and my cousins and my sister-in-law, we are planning on going. I ain't gonna tell you where we going because I don't want y'all pulling up. But we're planning on going, you know, a little girls' little thing, you know, road trip type of deal. And if I would have had a child, a 7-year-old, right? I gotta find somebody to watch them because you at work. No, I'm like, oh yeah, we can do that. Drop of a dime. I can do what I want to do. So I like that. And I wouldn't be able to do that if I had a baby. You know what I'm saying? So I also feel like by people waiting and having children, you know, a little later in life, it gives you an opportunity to get all that shit out your system too, to where you have lived your life and you have been able to, you know, have your little freedom and stuff like that. And then when you finally become a father or a mother, you don't really care too much about doing that kind of stuff. Yeah.
It's just pros and
I
cons.
don't know. It's probably like you said.
To every approach, the right time is the right time. Man, I ain't about to be arguing with folks about
how I'm giving red flags. I'm just saying, like, we all like our freedom. I like the fact that I am able to just do what I want to do at the drop of a dime. I ain't gotta check and see who can watch this person, and then you gotta pay. I gotta pay you to watch my child. I don't got time for that. But hey, like I said, like my husband said, it's pros and cons to everything, and we gotta just make it do what it do. Look, Tanya, you feel me? It is what it is. Let me see. Homeschooling communities are totally normal. Having kids is great for meeting other people. Thank you, Vincent, for your $5 cash out. It says Black men having childbearing. What is it saying? Hold on. Okay, it says Black men having childbearing and non-child bearing. I don't know what that means, but thank you. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Keith. Let me filter this. Thank you, Keith, for your $5. It says welfare, feminism, sexual liberation is what happened. It took 50 years for it to work, and it did. How do we fix it, good people? How we fix it?
Wait a minute.
He says welfare, feminism, sexual liberation is what happened.
What happened to what?
Maybe our family structures.
Well.
We come together and we.
Well, it starts from listening to each other. That's the main thing. A lot of stuff is transpiring right now simply because of misunderstanding. People not listening. Just listen. Like, man, drop your ego, drop your pride. Just listen. Listen. The other side is telling you what to do, so just listen. That's all. Just listen. We start with listening instead of hollering to listen. Like, all right, boom. And that's why when some of you ask me that advice, and I say I get a lot of advice from married couples, I listen. I go to the people that's doing what it is I'm striving to do. I ask them questions and I listen. I don't think I know it all. I listen. You know what I'm saying? If you got a type, you got a type that you after, like, listen. If you don't want to do what it is they telling you, then move on. But I listen, and I strive to gain an understanding. So that's the main key. Listening. People do not listen. Listening is an art. And people have a hard time listening. I've come across that a lot in life. People simply do not listen. And I feel like that's the root cause of the majority of our problems right now is lack of listening.
Thanks. Thank you, Mark. It says happy anniversary to you both. Thank you. Thank you, East Coast Kev. It says schools are teaching kids nothing but confusion. Anytime you teach that there's more than two genders, that's confusion. Uh-oh.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm not even gonna feed into. I just simply would not have a child in that system. And that's the only way we can combat that.
Thank you, Johnny. It says, how you say this word, my love? Montessori?
Yeah.
We don't know.
Yeah.
Montessori schools are great education for your children. Thank you for that. We can look into that. Thank you, Keith. It says organically it will happen minus the stress. Yeah, I think we was putting too much stress on each other. Well, it was me, you know. I'm like, give me the dick, and he tired, you know, whatever. Thank you, Gordon, for your $20. It says, congrats. I'm so proud of y'all. My wife and I are married 44 years, and she is definitely a helpmate like you, Danica. Young man, stay strong and spiritual because you know you have a rare one. Salute to you, Gordon. Thank you, Johnny. It says, happy anniversary to you. Having children is your business and time. You will be ready at that time. Peace to you. Thank you, Get Out of Town. It says, salute to the realest duo. Y'all really give the brothers and sisters hope. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I got Main Lion. I think I got the rest of y'all. Let me see. Thank you, Vincent. It says, for Black men having childbearing and non-childbearing women in our lives and our relationships, multiple women and or wives. So Vincent is saying that you should have women that will give you children and women I guess you can just have fun with. I don't fucking know what he's talking about. What you think?
I need clarification. I'm not going to assume.
I'm confused, Vincent.
Means by
it says, for Black men having childbearing and non-childbearing women in their lives and or relationships, multiple women and or wives. So I think what he's trying to say is you should have women for different roles. So maybe you should have women that you are going to procreate with, and then women that, you know, will work and do duties and stuff for you and not necessarily be mothers. I don't know, Vincent. Do you believe in having multiple wives?
That's not my thing. But I'm not going to, no, it's just not my thing. I'm not saying I'm adamantly against it. It's just not my thing.
I'm against it. I don't share my penis, my husband, my love, none of that. Please. If my husband wanted to invite another woman into our marriage, though, I would leave. Let me see. Am I caught up? I believe so. All right. I think this was great, my love. We got stuff to do. So you want to wrap this up? Do y'all have any more questions? What's funny? Please. I do not share my chocolate. Do y'all see my? This is mine. The fuck you talking about? Eric is a thinker. Shout out to you, Johnny. Yeah, one of me is enough. If you want me to pop you out some babies, I will. If you want me not to, I won't. Fuck you need multiple of me for? Yeah, you gonna have my kid? No, absolutely not. But I could be both of them. Let me see. Stay longer. Mark says stay longer. Mark, but you ain't sending no money. You know, you're not incentivizing us to stay longer. You know, we got stuff to do. So places getting ready to close. So hold on. Probably doesn't solve anything. It showed down, especially if y'all are dysfunctional. To me, you to have a poly relationship that requires so much understanding, so much structure. Like it's a lot that goes into it. If y'all just chaotic, now you're just gonna have a marriage full of chaotic ass people and children. No, thank you. No, thank you. You can't leave D till death do us part. Remember, I didn't sign up for that. Do you believe in divorce, my love?
Why wouldn't I? What? What?
Exactly. If you start doing shit in the marriage that I did not sign up for, yeah, I'm out till death do us part. Till you know what the death signifies to me, because this could be interpreted in different ways. It could be death of, you not following through. It can be death of you not holding up your end of the bargain. Like, what you mean? That's open for interpretation. You killed our vows. You killed your word is bond. So yeah, since you killed that, that's the death of it. So what you talking about? I'm not gonna play with y'all. Cause can I have another man?
I don't know why you asking me.
Exactly. So yeah. Enjoy your anniversary, Tanika. Okay. All right, y'all. Thank you all so very much for pulling up with us. I think we had a great talk and a great conversation with everybody. Yeah, maybe got a better understanding from us and of us, you know. And I really want to say thank you for always pouring into me and my husband and showing so much love. How many kids are you willing to have with Eric? However many he want. How many kids do you want, my love? If you could, okay, if you had all the time in the world, all the money in the world, and you like, yeah, we good. How many kids you want?
I ain't no kid person, man. So it's just like 1 or 2 is cool. I come from a family of 3, so that was enough for me. But I ain't.
So Eric say 1 or 2. So 1 or 2. I'm gonna be real. I feel like having more than 2 is an opportunity of some kind of neglect, because you're not going to be able to fully give your children all of the undivided attention that you need to give them. Like, to me, that's divvying yourself up too much with different personalities, with different obligations, and stuff like that. So if Eric, let me put it like this: if Eric said he wanted 12, then we're gonna try for 12. But realistically, for me, I feel like it would be 2 max, just so that I can have a better grasp on the household and what's going on in each child's life. Thank you, Carla. She says most Black women will let Remick from Sinners in. Who's Remick?
Come on, man.
Who is that? Let me look it up, because y'all be playing. I'm trying to wrap this up and y'all in here playing with me. Let me see. Rimmick. Sinners. Was that the fat man? Let me see. Oh, that's the white devil dude. The Irish vampire. Yeah, they do anything for White Zaddy, just to, I don't know. Let me shut up. Y'all ain't gonna get me in trouble. Y'all not gonna get me in trouble. Let me see. Who else? Fan funding. I think I'm caught up. All right. And again, big shout out to the Main Lion and Patrick Douglas. But I take none of y'all for granted. Big shout out to STL Trucker for that 20 kicking it off. And shout out to Dr. Steele for being a channel member for 53 months and really popping us off too. All right. But I appreciate all of y'all. Much love and respect. Thank you, my love, for coming through with us today with all this chocolateness. I got a surprise for you tonight. Carla, I might go ahead and give him his twins. What y'all think? You want the twins tonight, or he's trying to free up his time first, Carla? Let him get his schedule together. And so then we just gonna practice a little bit, see, how to do it. You know what I mean? Because we need to see how babies are made first before we make the baby. You know what I'm saying? But love y'all. Respect y'all. I'm going to have a video up for you all on Monday morning. Okay. Happy Father's Day to all of the fathers out there, and happy Mother's Day to the mothers. I did not get a chance to say happy Mother's Day to the mothers. So happy Mother's Day to y'all as well. Love y'all. And please don't get out of pocket in the comments, because I may clap back. Although my husband said, don't do that. Don't do it, my love. Don't worry about what they gotta say. But if they be rude to you, what I'm supposed to do? Just sit there?
What are you gonna do? It's pointless. If I'm not tripping off of it, why are you tripping?
Cause you my love.
And them people
the
are
fuck
not gonna address me in person.
I don't care. I'm gonna address you online.
You acting just like them then.
Okay.
So that's pointless.
Okay, and is. I'm just playing. My husband say don't clap back at y'all. But in advance, if you do say some slick shit, fuck you. Okay. Thank you, Vincent. It says we have way too many black women that probably can't or can no longer have children, but desire a black man and possibly should have one and want to have more than just sex. And that's why I feel like we need to take care of ourselves and align ourselves with the proper people. That way, when the time does present itself, we're able and we're capable and we can have healthy, thriving family structures. And that's something that's sad too, my love. Like I've heard a lot of black women who wanted children and wanted marriage and stuff like that, but they never found their person. And so they're, at advanced ages and it's never going to happen for them. Like, what's your advice for those women before we wrap this up?
I mean, purpose, man. Like, just find a purpose.
Find a purpose.
Like, your original purpose shouldn't revolve around another person or something like that. So you should have a purpose that solely revolves around you and your call and your devotion. Like, that's establish that why and establish that purpose, and you will never feel that type of way, because what's happening for you right now was meant to happen. So hey, nah, man, don't trip off of that, because you can't control that. They say focus on the things you can control. So don't worry about that. Don't concern yourself with that, because that's bad for your health. Nothing good comes out of that. So it might be something else that's meant for you to do out here. Like, do that.
You could adopt children. You can take on maybe your nieces, your nephews.
You could be a teacher,
like, you could be a teacher, whatever it is, daycare person.
It was probably meant for you to be a motherly figure in another way.
So
mother don't just mean I gave birth. Like, it's plenty of motherly figures out here. Like, I got one of my second grade teachers, and like, she was a motherly figure. I got a mom, but she was like a motherly figure to me. You know what I'm saying? Miss Johnson in second grade. Like, that lady helped me out a lot. Like, I'll never forget that lady. So that might be the calling that person has, to where a person like me, you talking 28 years ago maybe, and I still remember the things that lady did for me and how she helped me boosting my confidence and all of that. Hey, that's motherhood right there.
Peace.
So that might be what your calling is, like, to come in children's lives at certain ages for them not to forget about you when they 40 and 45.
And I think the same thing can apply for men too, because believe it or not, it's men out there who want to be fathers and maybe they're not finding the woman that they feel would be suitable for that role. And so maybe it's your duty to be a fatherly figure in whatever way that may be.
And it's more common for dudes to, like, they start coaching. Like, it's more common for dudes to have that fatherly role. Like you see a lot of that through coaching and things like that. Dudes that don't have kids, but they immerse themselves in, like, coaching little league. And they got all these young bulls, and when they get to college and the pros, like, they feel happy for them. Like, that's like they child. So a lot of dudes inadvertently be taking on those type of roles when they coach and stuff like that. So I've seen a lot of that happen from coaching and just little league stuff, man. Them dudes becoming fatherly figures to some of these young homies with no father through coaching. Women is a little bit different, but we got the little league football and all that for that role for men, and I've seen that happen a lot of times.
So being a parent is not all the time about you having children in your own household or adopting even. It can be, it's different levels to it. It's different levels and layers to it. And it's about you finding and settling on, what you say, my love? Finding and settling on the best part. Okay, so that's what we do. You find and you settle on that best part, and you thrive and grow. And it may be married couples out there who maybe the man is infertile or the woman is infertile and whatever. Make it, do it with each other. Find some kind of common ground with that and build on that together as a unit, as a team. It's always something that you can do. When it's a will, it's a way. All right. And me personally, I don't really believe in infertility. Unless you went through your change as a woman, you can get pregnant. Now, would I advise you to get pregnant when you hella old? Not necessarily. But I feel like it's always a remedy. It's always a natural remedy to reverse certain ailments or just get your body where it needs to be. You agree with that? Or am I reaching?
I mean, there are processes out here that one can undergo, but those, due to how they are destroying the environment, stuff is a lot harder to do. And folks really, if you in that type of state, it might take a lot of money to place yourself in the type of environment that you would really need to reverse an ailment like that. And I don't know how I can do, like, I just don't know how, I don't know how conducive that is to a lot of people's like income and things like that.
Yeah.
But that's just because they are destroying, they are making it more complicated. Like the food quality is getting worse, the air quality getting worse. Like you need a lot to work in your favor to reverse something like that. That's why people like Left Eye was going to Honduras. They was going to these certain villages. They had to travel to cure themselves. Like that's literally what you have to do. You can't do it here in America for the most part because they are tampering with a lot of stuff here. So you got to go to places like that to really get your body back in balance. And that's unfortunate.
Because we are not supposed to be Asian how we Asian. We were just watching that he was a part of the Muslim community, Islam.
Who are you talking about?
The man who was talking about the people.
Oh, Nuri Muhammad. You talking about fasting?
He was talking about fasting and stuff, and he was like, our bodies are supposed to be designed to last 1,000 years, and it's people out there in these different places to where they really practice holistic health and lifestyles to where they are having babies early, like very late in life and all of that. So it's really our lifestyles that's just jacked up.
Yeah, he was talking about the blue zones.
The blue zone?
The blue zone. But again, it was only one zone that was in the United States. All the other zones was outside.
What zone in the United States?
The 7 Day Adventists in California. They, for the most part, they vegan, vegetarian. But that was the only American-based group in the blue zone, the 7 Day Adventists.
Wow.
Loma Linda, California. All the other groups were outside of the United States.
Wow.
I've studied the blue zone heavily, but
that's
they
crazy.
Practice the same type of eat, but they lifestyle, they pretty much do a lot of things naturally. And so there it was.
So we gotta get back to that, y'all. We need to all over the country, all over the world, become the damn blue zone. Because we should not be Asian how we're Asian. We should not be looking how we're looking. We shouldn't have the ailments and diseases. Like it's crazy out here. And they are attacking us every which way. So for the person who was in my email, talking about, the makeup is toxic, that he wasn't wrong. I just feel like he was overstepping his boundaries and mind his damn business. Talking about, because I wouldn't approach no woman. I don't talk to women. I ain't trying to have you talk to me. But there was some things that he was saying that was right and exact, as you would say.
Like I say,
so they getting us every which way.
The same technological device he used to type it on is emitting radiation that is poisoning him the same way that he's saying the makeup is doing. So that's what I'm saying. People pick and choose. But whatever device he used to type that on, that device is hazardous and toxic. I'm just keeping it real.
That's what I'm saying. But what he was saying was, I'm really poisoning myself because I got the makeup and I got it's the food, and you don't know what the hell going on in my life.
Again, we pick and choose. If I just went to his household, I'm pretty sure he got a lot of colonized items in his household. His household ain't just how our ancestors was living back in the day. I promise you that. Big facts. So I don't like it when people be doing that.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, all we can do is the best that we can because they are trying to get us coming and going. You know what I'm saying? They polluting the air. They're polluting the food. They polluting the damn sheets and clothes and shit. So just do the best you can. Okay, and do the best that you can with what you got. That's all I got for you. Okay. Anything else, my love?
Nah, I'm trying to get up off this.
Okay, I'm getting up off of here too. We got stuff to do. Love y'all. Thank you all so very much. You can go if you want to, my love. I'm finna read the rest of these. Keith says, imagine being 50 with a pre-kindergarten. Hey, It can happen. And shout out to those people. Thank you, Johnny. It says y'all are perfect together. Thank you so much. All right. All right. So love y'all. See y'all later. Happy anniversary to me and my husband. And yeah, we getting ready to hop into what we need to hop into. Thank you, the main lion. Thank you. It was somebody else. But main lion came through real heavy, like, and thank you, Patrick. Okay. See y'all later. And also get your tickets to the Crown Head Conference. Hit the Patreon link. It is the last post that's up there. Get your tickets, you all. Once you get your tickets, please inbox me over on Patreon or email me, and I will give you the location that we're going to be in. But I do not want people just being able to pop up to where we are. That's why it is not listed on the ticket link. Okay. And my love, can you update it to where it says that it is refundable up to a month before?
Wouldn't let you do a month on that.
Oh, damn. Okay, so it's not refundable. Just make sure you pull your ass up, y'all. It's going to be a good time, okay? But love y'all. Respect y'all. Get your tickets to the Crown Head Conference. Much love and peace to my Crown Heads.
Now, before I say that, like, you could technically personally refund the person. You just can't do it through that channel.
Okay, so
it'd have to be a personal refund.
But can you put that on there though?
I have to edit the description or something.
Okay, just do that for me. Because I want to be fair. Like, if you have some shit that's coming up in your life, it's like, man, I can't make it, then I want to get your money back. But it has to be a month in advance. That way I can get a final head count. All right. But love y'all. See y'all later. Much love and peace to my Crown Heads.